the first thing I'm going to go in with is my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. You guys know, if you have been following me for a long time, I love this primer. This is my favorite primer. We are pretty much almost out of it. I'm just going to concentrate this on the porous areas of my face. I also like to apply this like a cream, so I'm just going to take a little bit on my hand and just start, you know, just blending it in. As you guys can see, I already have my eyebrows carved out, and I just find that it helps with facial symmetry. I love this primer. I don't find that it controls oils on my skin, so I don't necessarily use it for that, but I just find that it gives my skin such a nice like canvas, smooths out all the porous areas in my skin. I just love this stuff so much. So now, if you have oily skin, you can go in with a mattifying primer, but for me, I'm not really looking for longevity in this makeup right now. But if I normally was looking for longevity, I would definitely go in with a mattifying primer. A primer that I really do recommend that is mattifying is the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer, or the Becca, I think it's called Everlasting Primer. Don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure, but that primer is really good as well. But I love the Rimmel one. Okay, so I love to cream contour underneath my foundation. You don't have to do it. I don't find that it's such a major difference, but it definitely does shape my face. So I'm gonna take the Maybelline Superstay foundation. One is in the number 355, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that on the back of my hand and just apply it all over our skin. It might look weird at first, but I promise you, once you blend it out and once foundation is on your face, it's just gonna be like so good. For my nose area, I like to use a really small brush to really define my nose. Now I'm gonna take a little fluffy brush and I'm just gonna start blending this in before we go ahead with the foundation on top. To me, this is more of like a natural, what I would wear like if I was going out or an event or something like that, or if I just want to look done up without having like blue eyeshadow pretty much. Okay, so now that I blend that in, I'm gonna take a Superstay foundation. I'm gonna take the shades 128 and 332. Mine is really dirty because I use it all the time. I'm gonna take about 3 pumps of each. You don't need that much pumps. I'm just an extra kind of queen. Now the foundation color might be a little off, but once we have on bronzer and everything else, it's really gonna come together. So I'm just gonna take my sponge and I'm just gonna start patting this into the skin. This is not for somebody who likes the more natural. This foundation is one of my favorite foundations. You see, you can slightly see that contour underneath the skin, which is what you want. It's gonna look very nice, very natural. The foundation looks a little bit tan. When you powder, sometimes it can lighten up the foundation, which is totally fine. I don't like to put that much product in this area of my face, only because we're gonna go in with concealer and stuff like that. So with this foundation, it is a very matte foundation, but I love it. I love this foundation. I like the way it makes my skin look. I just adore it. As far as blending, I'm just gonna stop right here because I don't want to blend so much and it starts breaking down. Not really breaking down, but I don't want it to get any more matte than what it is right now. So we're just gonna jump right into concealer, and then I'm gonna start answering you guys' questions that you guys have for me on TikTok. So for concealers, I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Full Coverage Infallible Concealer and also the e.l.f. 16-Hour Hydrating Concealer. And for the e.l.f., I'm going in with light beige, and for the L'Oreal, I'm gonna go in with pecan. So just take a little bit of this, like that much. This concealer is very full coverage, and then I'm just gonna go on top of it with the e.l.f. since the e.l.f. is a little bit more hydrating, and we're gonna start blending that in. Let me go ahead and look at some questions that you guys might have for me. So somebody asked me, what is your favorite liner? So I'm assuming maybe lip liner or liner in general. If we're talking about a liquid liner, I love the Hank & Henry liquid liner, and I also love the Balm, but the Balm is a little bit more pricier than the Hank & Henry one. And if you're talking about lip liner, you guys already know Morphe Bar Liner is the best liner. Somebody asked me my foundation routine, so you guys are going to be seeing it in this video. I'm super excited to post this video tomorrow. So now we're going in with that concealer. I love this combo. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of that on my lid area. I know you guys are used to seeing me do like super dramatic eyes, a bit more softer than what I normally do. You guys can see already the coverage on this concealer is so good, especially mixed. Love the Infallible coverage. but I love the e.l.f. finish, the hydrating finish. Now, even though I have oily skin, I love to go in with a hydrating concealer because I just find that it makes my under eyes look very youthful and not so dry. That is a little tip. If you have oily skin and you find that your under eyes are looking really dry, try to go in with a hydrating concealer and see how you feel. And remember, makeup, you can play with it, you can mix it and really customize your like finish, your coverage, everything like that. So now I'm gonna go in with powder. I'm gonna take this Morphe translucent powder. So before even applying the powder, you wanna make sure that you get all the creases underneath your eyes. And we're just gonna set that. And I like to go around my mouth area. We could go on the top of the lid. I'm just gonna take that on all the areas that I kind of put concealer on. If you find that your skin is looking really dry, try not to bake. Just apply some powder, dust it off, and I promise you your skin is gonna look so much better. So I'm just gonna take my powder brush now. I don't let this sit or anything like that. I dust it off right away because I don't like to bake. I just find that my skin looks very dry when I bake, and just the under eyes look very you kind of age yourself a little bit, and I want to look very youthful. That powder is so pretty. That's one of my favorite powders. I love that powder. We are going to bronze the skin. So for bronzer, I'm going to take my two favorite holy grail bronzers. This one is Morphe's Megastar. So we're going to start with this one first and then build up to Trailblazer. I want to make sure my nose is really nicely chiseled today. So we're just going to take this brush and run it down our nose. I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush and diffuse that a little bit. So now I'm going to take a fluffy brush. This is a firmer brush, number 102, but you could take any fluffy brush that you have. I feel like the bigger the better, only because it's not going to distribute a lot of product at once. You could build as you go. So we're just going to start building this on our cheekbones and really bringing that color back into the face that we lost. I like to go in circular motions. You always got to get the jawline. Always gotta get the jawline, and I'm just gonna run this down my chest. As you can see in the face, we brought a lot of the dimension back, a lot of color. We look very bronzed. Like I said, I'm still looking for like a really good foundation color, but I just find mixing these two is like the closest I can get. So now I'm gonna go in with Trailblazer. I'm gonna take a denser brush. I'm gonna keep it right in this spot right here, right in this area right here. A little bit right here. I'm gonna take that round brush that we took and just start buffing this in, just to give it a nice blend. I don't like to have like that really harsh line. I just want it to look nice and soft and nicely blended. So I received a PR box from Pixi today, which I'm super happy about. It was such a cute box, and they actually sent over these little palettes. These are called the Eye Effects. This one is Hazelnut Haze, and this one is called Rosette Ray. So we're going to be playing with both of these today. There's not really that many matte shades, but we're going to do our best to create a nice bronzy eye. So to start, I'm actually going to take this beautiful shade right here, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and we're going to start blending this into our crease area. And I like to bring it into where the eye socket is and just extending it out. Now I have very downward shaped eyes, so I always like to extend my eyeshadow out. And you want to take a little bit and build as you go. You don't want to grab a whole lot of product. It's better to just build than to try to take away. So I'm taking this on a nice fluffy brush. I'm also taking a little bit of product at a time. You don't want to take a lot of product, especially with a darker shade. You really want to build as you go. So first impressions, these shadows are really nice. Although it look a little shimmery in the palette, it is actually not shimmery at all. It's very matte. I'm really impressed. I'm not experiencing any type of patchiness. It's going on very smoothly. Pixi, yes, come through, girl. Now I want to go in with this shade right here. I just like to have a little bit of dimension in the eye, which is why I'm taking this shadow and I'm really blending it right into the bronzer. So we're going to take this shade right here, this dark shade, and we're going to use a nice flat brush because we're going to create like a shadow liner. We're just going to take this shadow and just start making a liner. Now, if you have downward eyes, doing this could really help shape your eyes and give you that nice feline look. This is the type of look I would wear like going out to dinner or something like that, where I want to look put together and I want to look snatched, but I don't want to look too much. Let's give us a nice blend. So you guys can see my liner really does make a difference. It gives my eye a very nice cat-like. It does lift the eye, especially if you have downward shaped eyes. This is the best trick. So let's go on the under eye and start blending out those shadows. So far I'm really impressed with those Pixi products. It's really pretty. You could just grab 2 palettes and you're good to go. I'm gonna take this beautiful cream shade right here, and I'm gonna take that on a nice little flat brush, and we're just gonna bring that in right in the inner corner just to brighten it up and open up your eye. Morphe was kind enough to send me a little PR package, and in one of the packages there was this Morphe 2 Jelly Eye Shimmer, and this is what it looks like. I really wanted to try this. I think this looks so stunning. So we're just gonna take this on our finger. It's really nice. It actually is a little cold, and we're gonna start applying this right on top of the lid. God, this is so pretty. I knew this was gonna look so good for this look. Definitely gives you that nice shimmer without looking glittery. Just gives you such a beautiful glow. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Look how pretty that is. So I actually think I want to go in with this palette. This one is the Honey Nectar palette, and I want to take this blush right here. We're going to tap into that very lightly, and I'm just going to start applying this on the cheeks. Now this color is a little bit more pink than what I normally would go in with. I'm definitely like a peach kind of girl, but it's actually really pretty. The only thing is I wish it didn't have a little bit of the shimmer that it has on it. I like my blushes a little bit more matte, but you could definitely see the glow. So yeah, I really like that. That looks so pretty. I don't mind it so much. It definitely giving me a nice glow. So now in the Sugar Blossom, which I think is my favorite palette out of the complexion, I'm gonna take this highlighter right here. Wow, that's so pretty. This highlighter definitely has like that, is not really rose gold, but it definitely has more of a pink undertone than the other one. So let's apply a little bit of this onto the cheeks. Yeah, this highlighter is pretty. The formula is really nice. It's very creamy and it's very smoothing. Like it looks very soft, very smooth. You know how some highlighters can really be chunky and show texture? I don't think this is gonna show texture. This is very pretty. I like the shade of this highlighter. That looks so pretty. Oh my God. So I would definitely recommend this. This is Sugar Blossom. So I would definitely say these are really nice if you have light to medium complexion. Now I can say this, they definitely need a wider range because we're missing at least 2 more of these. So I'm gonna take this Benefit Brow Microfilling pen. I have been loving this pen. I haven't really been liking to do my eyebrows like that. So I just take this pen and just start flicking eyebrow hairs. Now this pen is a little bit lighter than what I would go in with, but I find that it gives me such a natural looking brow that it doesn't look too filled in, but she looks put together. So we're just gonna take this and just start filling in our eyebrows. I really love this pen. I think this is my favorite brow product thus far from Benefit. How natural my eyebrow looks without looking too much. So I would say if you have really thick brows and you have a little bit of sparse areas that you need to fill in, this brow pen will be so good for you. Now let's take a little bit of mascara. When it comes to mascara, I'm not really picky. I'm gonna take a little bit of this mascara. This is Urban Decay's Lash Freak. I definitely got a little bit of mascara on my lid. Now I could say this, I do love this mascara, but I just find that this mascara just picks up way too much product and it can just get a little messy. But I wish that the product applicator would just suck up a little bit more product, that it doesn't go on the wand. I usually love mascaras with a small wand like this, and I do love this wand. I just wish it didn't distribute so much product onto the lashes. Okay guys, so I just popped on my lashes. These are I Envy's lashes. That's like Kiss's second brand in 112. I overlined my lips with Morphe's lip liner in bar, and then Sweet Tea in the center of my lips. So now I'm gonna take this Morphe 2 Wonder Tint Cheek and Lip Mousse. I have been loving this for my lips. Just look how beautiful this color is. Like, so yes, we're gonna apply this on our lips. I love this stuff. I have been wearing this literally all week. First of all, the texture is a very lightweight texture. Also dries down very matte and very soft. You can't deny that this finish is so beautiful. I'm really obsessed with this lip. I've been wearing it nonstop. I discovered it on live and I literally was shook on live with how beautiful it was. And yeah, it's for your cheek too, so you can use it as a blush. Alrighty guys, so this is the end of the video. I hope you guys had fun. I really enjoyed a lot of these products. I would have to say the Pixi highlighter and the Morphe shimmer for the eyes has really stole the show. But those Pixi palettes are so beautiful. If you're looking for a very neutral palette that you could just, you know, all your shades are in that palette, you're just gonna grab it and go. I would highly recommend those Pixi palettes. The formula was beautiful. It blended like a dream. I didn't experience no patchiness. The undertones is beautiful. Wow, I'm just shook. And the highlighter, like, can we talk about this highlighter? Yeah, she stole my heart. Yes guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.